whose destiny had been foretold. Its fate had been forewarned. He did not know that something so sweet could be so evil. Now, the fate of mankind hangs in the balance as Kadeem Hardison, TV's Dwayne Wayne.
This honey I met the other night was bad. Bad. Super bad.
And Bill Nunn from Do the Right Thing get busy in the first contemporary horror thriller of its kind. James Bond III's Death by Temptation. She's every man's dream and your worst nightmare.
She leaves with men, and you never see them again.
And now, our feature presentation.
Not much, you know. Just chilling, chillaxing.
Yeah, we
relaxing.
We got no choice but to chill.
That is true. It got kind of cold.
It is fucking cold.
And then it gets warm. We're like, hey. And then the cold's like, no.
Cold's like, absolutely not.
Oh, you are enjoying this weather?
Really? Shit make me really want to go back to Florida, man, because this is some bullshit.
It is.
But you know it's not bullshit, though.
What is not bullshit, Shag?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is time that the cinema villains bring to you a brand new spanking episode. I am your hostess with the mostest, Shaggy Black, alongside me, Mr. Temptation himself.
Oh, yeah.
Bachelor, Clocks and Radios.
What?
Jose.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Jose, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great.
Yeah, man.
Could I be a succubus dude?
I think there's a name for male succubuses. Succubi?
Succubus?
I forgot.
Succubus? Succubus?
We're gonna be learning some stuff tonight, I guess. That is one thing I'm gonna say.
Mouses? Mice? Moose?
Mooses?
Meese.
Gooses.
And geese.
Fuck that. I still call him Goose Howard.
Goose Howard.
Predictable. But anyway.
Predictable.
Thank you again for joining us, guys and girls and goblins and ghouls and everybody under the sea and sun and things.
Under the sea.
We thank you again for joining us. We are here this week, this episode, bringing you a movie that you may not be familiar with. And as this is the last week of Black History Month, we want to kind of take it out with I ain't going to say can we say a bang? I mean, there's a lot of bangs.
There's a lot of
banging
yeah.
in this movie. But more so, we just wanted to bring something up to you guys that you may not have heard. This might be like a little sleeper hit. Actually, not even a hit. Just more so of a, what's that word? A hidden gem, as it were.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
The movie we are talking about tonight is Trauma Studios' own Death by Temptation. A movie made by let me check my notes, James Bond the third. You can stop now.
Okay.
Because that's not that James Bond.
Oh, not that James Bond?
No,
Okay, then.
because this one's black. And American.
Well, what if... Okay, you said American. Never mind.
That's why I followed it up as
Yep,
quickly as
you
possible.
automatically... Hey, you never know.
Hey, buddy.
Could get that
buddy.
black James Bond one day.
Hey, man, we can. Like, I got no problem with it, but he can't be American.
Yeah, I know. That's
I
true.
refuse.
So.
I fucking refuse. I'll burn this shit down.
Well, why can't Superman be British then, guy?
I mean, because British... Let's not... Do we want to call out the elephant in the room that British actors can actually be better than American actors and play a better American than most American actors?
Yeah, I guess.
And actresses?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Idris Elba.
Yeah. Well, no, he can't hold his accent.
Not no more. But go back and watch The Wire.
Yeah, you're right. Like, it's weird how he can't do it no more. Does he just?
Because he is who he is now.
Yeah.
He is who he is now. Back then, he had to fucking sound American.
Right.
I remember, and this is a random ass tangent. I just remember he was on fucking he was on my favorite fucking show, Hot Ones, and he was explaining to Sean, Sean Evans, who's the interviewer of the show, saying that he had to pretend that he wasn't British for the Wire, and the casting directors are listening to him talk, and they're like, "Hey, can you talk for us normally?" He said, "What do you mean? I am talking normally."
He's like,
"No."
Noni.
He's like, "Talk for us normally," because one of the casting directors is from the UK. And he's like, "Talk to us normally," and he just like, and he fucking started to freak out. But anywho, this movie is not about Idris Elba. This movie is actually it's funny because there's a lot of people in this movie that you may have noticed.
Yeah.
Like if you Google this movie up, Def by Temptations, Def spelled DEF.
Like Def Jam?
Yes.
Was that on purpose? Was that on purpose?
Yes, it was on It was definitely on purpose because they wanted to give more of a like hip hop feel.
Right. Okay.
Instead of like, and it's because the other one is always called Death by Temptation, and then Def.
Right.
And this movie was made, and James Bond III is a black man who started up as, actually, I believe he was in Cooley High. But just as he started off as like before this was his first directorial. This was his directorial debut, and he wouldn't have another movie he directed up until 2012. And that movie was called, I'm pulling up my new and I'm pulling up
called Differ by Temptation, or
no.
Oh,
I wish it was, but no. I'd cackle if it was, but no. It's
Death by Temptation to Death Harder.
Death Harder. No, he did another movie called Contrition, and that was in 2012. But those are the only two. He's like an actor and a producer. And this cast, actually, all black cast.
Yeah.
All black cast. This movie was made this movie didn't debut until the 90s, but definitely has an 80s feel to it. Like late 80s feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when you got to that. And this is my first time watching this movie.
As it is mine.
And I'm not going to say, it's not like I haven't heard about this movie. Credit to Dead Meat and Dead Meat James and the Dead Meat crew. Very popular YouTube show. I highly recommend it if you listen to us. He covered this movie, and I was shocked because I learned a lot of information from it, and I'm like, wow, this is dope. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool, and we're a sucker for one of the actors in this movie.
Yeah.
And on this show,
right?
And I was watching it, and then I wanted to bring it up for wanted to have us watch it for Black History Month or Black Villain Month.
Hey, there you go.
Because the villain in this movie is and Jose said the magic word earlier. It's a succubus.
Yeah.
A lovely, beautiful black woman playing a succubus, attacking men, and in these time of days, not really a problem.
No,
not at all. But until you start attacking the innocent, that's probably when it's kind of like, hey, buddy, don't do that.
Well, succubuses aren't cool.
No, they're not.
Unless you're Morgan.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Oh yeah, she's definitely cool.
Her and Spider-Man totally banged.
I believe it.
It's canon.
What?
Remember that end quote?
What?
From Marvel vs. Capcom 1?
What?
Like when they're teamed together?
What?
There's a quote that like, I hope Minjay don't mind if I'm late tonight.
What?
I was like, Peter, no! She's a succubus.
Peter, yes! No. Jose, what were your thoughts about this movie, man?
I thought it was good. Considering I'd never seen it before, and I knew what it was about. I knew it involved a succubus. But yeah, it was a nice movie. It was quick. It was only like 90 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 90 minutes.
And like we talked about it like 10 of those minutes are credits.
Yes.
Especially the opening.
The opening minutes is like damn near like 8 minutes worth of credits.
Yeah.
That sprinkled actual like
a dude talking.
Yeah. A piece of shit dude talking to begin but it was all credits.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. I will say it has some weird editing choices.
I'm going to say because you know what? I'm going to give this movie a pass. Now, normally I wouldn't, but I'm going to give this movie a pass because this was made on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And normally we would ream movies that look like shit, but like this one particular one, I can't feel myself to do that because he got the money and did it himself.
Right.
And then got everybody else to be in it.
Yeah, you could when someone puts their heart and soul into something, easily we forgive that.
Yeah, because we can see where they're coming from.
Yeah,
and how that's gonna work for them. So like we definitely feel that way. I really enjoyed this movie. It's dated as hell.
Yes,
but the premise definitely works. This is one of those movies that I wish someone would remake.
Right.
In the years of remaking popular shit. Or not popular shit and just making it your own. Mm-hmm. This is one of those movies that I wish that I would not mind seeing a revision or a retelling of this.
Yeah.
With a decent size, with a better budget. Your cast don't even have to be crazy. Like this is kind of one of those movies I would see if it was a Shudder exclusive, which it is on Shudder if you wanted to watch this movie.
Yeah, it's on Shudder.
Matter of fact, let's get this out of the way now. Over the last couple of weeks. We'll point out the elephant in the room. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been testing some new things about what we wanted to do with the show.
Yeah.
So you've been wondering, like, hey guys, we haven't been getting any play-by-play as of late, and the reason for that is sometimes we feel as though the show can last a little too long when we go into the play-by-plays.
Yeah.
And God forbid if we're drinking.
Yes.
Though, like. A show that could have been technically 90 minutes with us turns into damn near 2 hours.
Yeah,
because
sometimes 2.5.
Yeah, because we're fucking rambling, and that's fine if the episode's like a special episode, like
right.
like a Hall of Fame, or like in instance like the Godzilla vs. Kong movie.
Yeah.
But like in this particular sense, we decided to just say, hey, we're gonna talk more about the movies and stuff we liked and stuff we didn't like. And talk more about the villain in this. Mm-hmm. And we're going to continue to still do that. And if you guys have anything against that or just have any questions, comments, or concerns, find us on the Twitters.
The Twitters or the Instagrams.
At cinema_villains. That you can find us on there on both. And just say, hey, reach out and just say, hey, man, just let us, we listen.
Yeah, we really do listen. Don't think we just ignore you. Like, okay, cool.
That's the reason why we made some of the changes, because some people wanted us to. We want to change some of it. We want to try something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people like it. Some people don't.
It's season 2. Let's do something.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do something. Let's get back and curl our mustaches and smoke a cigar. Yeah.
Yeah,
classy.
cigars. Yeah.
But with this particular, I say that to say this particular movie. We will be doing a play-by-play. Yeah. Because it's one of those movies that if you're interested in, we highly suggest you go out and watch. You can stream this on Shudder. Mm-hmm. You get a Shudder subscription for $5.99. It's probably the best horror service that you can get for covering anything from like slashers, psychological, thrillers, hell, you even get some documentaries on that.
Yeah, you get documentaries. You get some series. You get
series.
You get the Creep Show series.
Yep, there it is. And you'll get it's very well done, and it's probably one of my favorite apps. Yep. That I use.
You get Joe Bob every so often.
Yep, Joe Bob when his season's
Elvira pops up. It's cool. It's cool.
It's a very dope app. Like I highly recommend that. But you can, and once again, you can stream. They're not paying us.
I wish I could say.
I fucking wish.
Use code CinemaVillain.
Soon.
For 30 days free.
One of these days.
That or Blue Chew. Blue Chew. I'm still waiting. I'm still here, bro.
Hey, bro. I used your product, bro. Come on.
Come on, dog.
Come on.
I need some of your products. So come on. Come on, Blue Chew. Send us that code, buddy.
Send us that. But yeah, we will be doing the play-by-play. So I want to say now, and I will be saying again when we get closer to play-by-play, there will be some spoilers. So if you want to pause us, and come back and listen to us after you watch the movie, that'll certainly be we appreciate. We just want to give you the time to go watch and come back and enjoy this with us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you are sicko like me and spoilers don't bother you,
right,
then hey, welcome, you twisted fuck.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I really like the vision with this movie. I like where it goes. It is rough in some places.
Yes, it is.
Super rough. I like the plot device, and I am not a religious man whatsoever.
Nah, neither am I.
But I understand it. My eyes kind of did roll a little bit towards
the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, but it is what it is. That's
right.
That's who I am. It's whatever. But it's still, I really fucked with it. And for the fact that James Bond III actually really went into this and put his whole heart and soul in that, because he wrote, written, and directed.
Wrote and written on the same thing, bro.
I am been drinking.
I just had to do it to you. I was like,
no,
hey.
He starred, written, and directed this
There
movie.
you go.
And but he had a decent cast with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He had damn near had the whole cast of a different world in this bitch.
Yeah, and was it Do the Right Thing?
Yeah. That's what he was actually. He was actually a part of that too. He was actually a part of Do the Right Thing. He was actually an understudy, I believe.
There you go. So that makes sense
for that, and that's kind of how he got majority of these the guys who were in this movie. But
so with that being said, are we gonna talk about the cast or?
Oh, we're gonna talk about the cast. But you know what we need to do first.
What do we do, Shag?
Time to look at. Well, here's the funny thing. Normally, again, we did Villains Wiki. But
yeah,
there is no Villains Wiki. I'm gonna check one more time because I'm gonna check under one other spot. But there is no. There, like, when I looked at the time, there was no Villains Wiki.
Are we gonna wing it again, bro? Are we gonna be?
We're gonna,
hey.
But I got an idea. Cause they're not gonna I got an idea here of what we can cover. Hold on.
We are holding on by a thread.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's start with this. Jose, when you think of a succubus, what's the first thing you think of? Is it Morgan?
It's Morgan. I had to think about it. Yeah, it's totally Morgan.
It's Morgan, right?
Even though I don't know how much of a traditional succubus she technically is.
She's like a PG rated for succubus.
Well, as PG as you can get with her outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, and then she also was like kind of robotic.
Yeah.
She's cool as hell.
Yeah,
Morgan.
She's very dope.
Morgan is bae.
And
she's like Irish. It's so weird when they actually give it the accent. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
You're limited fake.
Or is it Scottish? Wait, is she Scottish or Irish?
You should probably Google that, my friend. You have a little miniature computer in your hand.
Oh, my terrible accent?
Yeah, you're limited fake.
Yeah, it's terrible. I can only say Lucky Charms. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. That's the only other thing I can say. Is that racist?
Yes. I mean, you're Mexican trying to do an Irish accent, but it literally sounds Scottish. Because, come on, man.
She's Scotland. She's from Scotland.
She's from Scotland.
Yeah.
So, you got to thank Sean Connery.
Hot shingles, you say?
There you go. That's Scottish. Irish is more like, oh, me lad.
Yes, me lad, you know.
Like, yeah, I me sing this Irish ditty.
We're almost there, Shag.
No,
Leprechaun 2?
It's coming. No, God, no. Fuck. That's why I didn't want to fucking do this. But no, it's that. Obviously, I don't want to make fun of nobody's accent, Irish or Scottish.
Yeah, we're not making fun. What you saying? Because it's like I tell my mom, Seamus is Irish, and he's like fella.
Yeah.
And Drew McIntyre is Scottish, and he's like Drew McIntyre.
Drew.
You
You gotta roll. Like I roll my tongue when I say it. But anyway.
Do you want to get sued?
Oh yeah,
shit.
I was like, well, grease me up, woman.
Oh shit.
God damn it.
Oh.
I love Willie. Groundskeeper Willie. He's the greatest.
I was about to say, you said I love Willie. I was about to say, pause.
No pause.
Oh,
But anyway, no. Let's see. No, so when I think succubus, and I hate the fact that I am saying this now, because I also should say Morgan from Darkstalkers and Capcom fighting game fame. But my knowledge of succubus or succubi come from
Succubus?
No.
Okay.
We're not doing that again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Would be from a movie we're probably going to end up covering down the road, Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
And that was more as me seeing a succubus on screen for the first time. And I'm like, oh, that's a proper succubus. Okay. And beforehand, like I said, we normally would do the tail of the tape on our villain, whose name is Temptation.
Which
has always been funny to me. Temptation was played by a Miss Cynthia Bond.
She's no relation.
I'm going to look that up.
I would say that's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah, that's oh, she's actually from Texas.
Hey. All my succubi live in Texas.
She's actually an author now.
Oh, nice.
Cynthia Bond is an American author. Her debut novel, Ruby, spent 6 consecutive weeks on the New York Times bestseller list.
Ruby.
She was also chosen as a selection as Oprah Book Club and Oprah Book Club 2.0. She was born in Hempstead, Texas, and now lives in Los Angeles. She is 61 years old.
Hempstead, Texas. Don't ask me what that is, Shag.
Yep. She still looks the same.
Nice. Black don't crack.
It does not. It definitely does not. But what I am going to do here, Jose, is I am going to just cover what a succubus is.
Bet, go for it.
And because we got a succubi, spelled Succbi. This is mostly from European folklore, obviously a homeward is earth. Abilities: non-corporeal existence, seducing mortals, can mother demons with humans. Poltergeist abilities: limited omniscience, possession, and many other demonic abilities. Their hobbies are bewitching men, seducing men, draining life and energy from men.
There you go.
Their goals are seducing humans and mother demons with them. And their crimes is dark magic and murder.
Murder was a case that they gave him.
The type of hostile species is a seductive demon.
Nice. More can have my babies. That's fine.
Man, what?
See, we'll have beautiful Mexican, Scottish demon babies. It's fine.
You literally thought this woman was Irish.
I said Scottish.
You said Irish first.
I've been drinking, Shag. How about that?
Clink the
Hey,
glass.
there we go. We got to do that.
Yeah.
And we're drinking. Oh, wait.
This is an Irish whiskey.
See? Jamie, it works out. Everything works out. Full circle.
Oh, God. But yes, Death by Temptation is going to be about, it's a succubus movie. It definitely a horror movie. It's kind of funny because it feels like we're all over the place with this, but Death by Temptation is definitely more of it's definitely a horror movie with a female villain, which is, I believe, is a cinema villain first.
No, second.
What was the first?
Old girl from Major League.
Yeah. Okay. Does she really? She does count.
She does count.
She counts. Technically, she counts.
Technically.
This is our first horror villain, then.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll say that, which is dope.
Very dope. The dopiest of the dope.
Speaking of dope, you want to hit these lovely people with that synopsis.
for Death by Temptation.
Yep.
A gorgeous temptress who is a succubus in disguise is murdering African American men in New York City. It's up to Joe, a young man training to be a minister, his friend Kay, who is an actor, and it's kind of a spoiler, and a cop who investigates supernatural activity to stop her.
Oh, that definitely...
That was a big spoiler. Like, if you didn't know that, then...
That was a big oof.
Because it comes out of nowhere. That twist comes out of, like, fucking nowhere.
It really does, and I'll be glad to explain it. Like,
yeah.
It kind of makes sense, but, like, at the same time, it don't. And the cast for Death by Temptation... Oops, I am in the wrong screen. Give me 1 second here.
1 second, check.
Damn it. All right, Death by Temptation came out in 1990. Starring, written, directed, James, not only just starring, but written and directed by James Bond III as Joel.
Yep.
Let me check my notes here. Samuel L. Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Our first Samuel L. Jackson movie is Death by Temptation. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Early Sam Jackson
right,
shit,
exactly.
too. Like, when he was, like, thin and still looked like, before he played a crackhead. But, like, but it was one of his earlier movies. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things he was barely in.
Right.
He had a couple of lines, and it was it. He wasn't, like, you couldn't do this with Sam Jackson now. You could,
well,
but
you could. Sam Jackson's one of those, yeah, but you are paying a lot. That's the thing.
You were definitely paying. You have to make it worth his time.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is playing Minister Garth, Joel's father. Kadeem Hardison is playing Kay, which I just now realized is his first fucking name.
Yeah. What you call it? Cinema villain staple at this point.
Yes.
Kadeem Hardison.
Kadeem Hardison is literally him and your boy.
Al Leong.
Yeah, Al Leong is their fucking staples.
Yeah, we've done so many movies with them already.
Yes,
it's
and
hilarious.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Legendary Bill Nunn is Dougie. The Cynthia Bond is the Temptress. Minnie Gentry is Grandma. And I'm trying to make sure whom else. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. And wow. Well, Ellis E. Williams was in there, and I definitely forgot he was. Like, if I show you a picture, you're gonna realize who he is, because that dude's been in, like, a lot of black at the bottom.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I said, damn, who was he?
Was he not old boy?
He had to be old boy.
Took that girl, right?
I want to say probably.
Yeah.
Either that, yeah, it had to be him. It had to be him. But anyway, guys and girls, and everyone in between.
Everyone.
We want to say now, again, another warning here, even though we kind of already literally had one. Another spoiler warning. Because what we're about to dive into is getting our play-by-play.
Yeah.
Which isn't really long, because this movie isn't long.
No, this is a short movie. This is a short. And you could tell it pretty quick, because it's basically one of those movies where here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's not a lot. There's not a lot working here. But the movie starts off with that title card, like credit screens and everything. And then we're in a bar, and the bartender, who's having an interesting fucking conversation.
Yeah.
Say the least.
Yeah, someone calls him and he's like, look, go get an abortion already?
Yes.
Like, yeah, ditch the kid and I'll come holler at you.
So in the first 5 minutes, it's proven to you that men ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like, men definitely ain't shit. Mm-hmm. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, so, and then, like, the very next phone call, it's like, oh, has your man left?
Yes.
He's like, I want to wear his clothes and play Star Trek.
Yeah, he's like,
no man has gone
before.
I was like, what?
Yeah, this man is, like, put on a line. He's like, yo, and play just go nowhere has gone before, and just kind of like, we're like, man, what? This dude was a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
A real piece of shit. and it's like I said, it came out in the 90s, but I want to say this movie came out in the 80s because this dude had the Billy D. Williams curl.
Yeah.
My grandfather had that same type of fucking hairstyle, and slick back and all. Like it's not. It's like it's got product in it, and it's just greased back. And I'm just like, bruh. I'm like, hey, that hairstyle had black men in a chokehold at a certain time, and I can't even be mad at it. But anyway, he's like you really pick up on this movie. Like the first thing they tell you is men really ain't shit in this movie. Like just ain't, right? But along comes it's a woman sitting on the opposite side of the bar, and she's pulled out a cigarette. The bartender goes up to her, lights the cigarette, and she's like, "Hey, you need a light?" And he just takes it and lights her cigarette. She responds, "Next time, have a cigarette lighter. It lasts longer."
Yeah.
And that's when they start talking. And the guy, they give you the idea of the guy is like the bartender he's a slick talking womanizer. Piece of shit. And he's talking to the bartender, and she's talking to the bartender, and she tells our bartender, and that's temptation.
Yeah.
Tells the bartender, he's like, hey, she's like, let me buy you a drink. Bartender looks at her and says, well, as much as I would like that, it would be against the house rules.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. And she's like, well, let me make you a drink back in my place.
Under my rules.
Under my rules. I was like, ooh, shit.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be getting some later.
Yeah.
Which I'm starting to think he probably did, because when he went over to Temptation's house, it was morning.
Right.
I was like, midday.
Yeah, he went like the next day.
Like the next day, and he was dressed out in like a red fucking suit. So he gets to Temptation's house, opens the door, and kind of walks up the stairs. And it's crazy because it's not really, it's like a house, but it's in New York. So it's kind of like walk up, and it's kind of like, okay, let me get to her apartment. But she, like, I guess she owns all of that. She walks upstairs. He's like, yo. And he looks around, and the place looks nice, like rich. Like it almost akens back to thinking about Vampire in Brooklyn, where it's trash on the outside, but crazy looking, like rich upscale on the inside.
Right. So one of the there's no trivia at all, damn near, about this movie. But one of the trivias, I'll get it out of the way now since you brought it up. So in Sweden, this movie didn't come out till '97.
In Sweden, in Europe, right?
And so what they did was they just totally marketed it as Vampire in Brooklyn 2.
Wait,
I'm not lying.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they marketed it as a sequel to Vampire in Brooklyn.
Was there anything of how it sold over there as Vampire in Brooklyn?
No, I don't think I saw it. Let me double check the trivia, but no, I don't think. That's just how they did it.
That's actually ingenious, to be honest.
Yeah, so it was like, hey, it's kind of the same thing, and hey, it has the same actor. Let's see. Despite it being made 5 years prior to Vampire in Brooklyn, which was 95, it wasn't available until 97 in Sweden as a direct-to-video release due to some common themes, such as an African-American vampire in New York and vampire succubus.
Yeah.
It was promoted as a sequel to Vampire in Brooklyn. That's all it is.
Yo, that blows my fucking mind. Yeah. Because honestly, that's kind of fucking genius.
Right?
And, well, two things wrong with this, though. One, this shit is way fucking dated.
Oh, yeah.
Vampire in Brooklyn looks way fucking better.
Yeah.
Than Death by Temptation, on the visual style wise. And second, you said it has some of the same characters. We were talking about Kadeem Hardison.
Yeah.
And that's a young fucking Kadeem.
Yeah.
Versus we have a middle-aged Kadeem.
Right.
That's in that movie. And it's like, how can you even say that? Are you talking about motherfuckers in Sweden aren't smart enough to figure that out?
Nope.
They're saying we all look the same.
Yes, that's exactly what they're saying.
Jesus Christ.
It's the Swedes.
Hey, man. But anywho, that's crazy because I definitely would pimp low key. I would pimp this as Vampire in Brooklyn 2.
There you go.
Low key,
yeah,
on the lowest of keys. Like I would see myself doing that in Vampire in Brooklyn 2, but I like it being Death by Temptation.
Yeah,
but it definitely works.
Like I can see them calling it Death by Temptation, a Vampire in Brooklyn 2, or some shit,
or like Vampire in Brooklyn, Death by Temptation,
some shit like that.
Like, yeah. I would be down for that. Like, now that I think about it, if I had to make this, it's like, yeah, it'd be this.
You're right.
Like, just it's there. It's literally smart,
right?
Because it's kind of the same premise, except you said it's vampire, it's succubus.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, the only thing that's fucked up is Kay's character in Vampire in Brooklyn, or Kadim's character in Vampire in Brooklyn, becomes
the vampire,
the fucking vampire. So it's like, how do you explain that he's no longer a fucking vampire?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, like it's some potholes there, but that probably could be fixed. But that's still really good.
Yeah,
it's still really good. But yeah, so the bartender gets to Temptation's house, and he's like looking around, like, wow, and he just walks in her door, she's like, come in, and the door's open, and he's like, wow, you always just stay over here with your door open like that? And she doesn't respond.
He's like, oh, you're just waiting for me. And she's like, I was just waiting for you.
I was just waiting for you. And it's just like, it's a white background. And it's like, think like one of those music videos where they're in the clouds and it's like a bed. It's kind of like one of those, right? Like a dream sequence almost. He walks in, he kind of admires the room, and then he's just spitting game at her the whole time, and she's not responding.
Yeah.
She's not in the room. She's around somewhere. And he's just kind of walking around her bedroom. He's like, and he sits there and he sits on her bed. He's like, a bed can tell me a lot about a woman. And this particular bed makes me think you're a freakazoid or some shit like that.
Like one hot freakazoid or something.
One hot freakazoid on those lines, right?
Yeah.
And she still didn't say anything.
But then that's when he goes and notices she has a mirror that's covered up.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, someone as fine as you, why do you got this mirror covered up?
And then that's when she kind of appears, like, behind him. And then I forgot, she said something when they started kissing, making out. And then, obviously, they start having sex. I mean, and let's be real here. I've said it to Jose when we were watching the movie. I'll say it here now. This movie literally looks like a Skinamax movie.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
It has that feel.
It especially
here's some
has
story,
that feel.
Here's some boning.
Yeah, here's like...
And music in the background, all that shit.
Here's 70% story, or 70% story, 30% boning.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, we're going to have this. Like, it's a Skinamax movie. Like, hey, we're not going to show everything, but just know they getting it on.
That's right.
But yeah, as you see, they're having sex, and, like, they're fucking in the shower. Which I really like. I think this is probably one of my favorite fucking scenes in this movie.
Right.
Like, up until another fucking scene comes up.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to fucking go back and debate.
Right.
First off, Temptation, we had our discussion about her before we go into her further, because we're going to talk about the villain more. It's, even though this was the 90s, and I'm not going to talk about how a woman looks, me and Jose agreed she looks like a sexy teacher.
Yeah. I was like, this is totally like a hot teacher or hot principal you had. And you're like...
Yeah, you're not...
Hey.
You're like, hey, like, I should not be feeling this way about my principal or my teacher. And she has that look to her. Mm-hmm. Like, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what the movie goes for, like, seducing and everything else. But it was like, damn, I was thinking to myself, like, would you succumb to her fucking seduction? And I'm like, fam, a succubus, this type of succubus is going after motherfuckers who are fucked or like just evil. Or we're going after pieces of shit and then kind of doing the Lord's work. Would I fall for her shit? I'd have been dead 5 minutes in. Like, it's too late. I'd have been, fucking, my goose would have been cooked. Like dead.
Oh,
big dead.
Shit.
Big fucking dead. Like, just, destroyed. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's
like, Shaggy, no.
Yo, Shaggy, yes, all right.
Yeah.
Shaggy dead as fuck. Like, she ain't gotta say nothing. She's like, hi, aren't you Shaggy? Yes, I am, and I'm pantsless.
She's like, oh, that didn't take much seducing?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. It's like, she's like, I don't even know if yeah, you still do. Come on.
Does this count? She's looking at her succubus rule book.
She's like, wait. Count? She's like,
don't I gotta try harder for their souls? No.
Like, no. He's just willing. His legs are in the. What are you, a whore? Like, put your legs down.
Why are your legs open? Like, why? What?
Why? What? What is going? What are you doing with that peanut butter? That is expensive. That is not Jif, sir. What are you doing?
Now I'm thinking of some like first time succubus. Like, okay, it's my first night. What?
What? Like, why are they all like this? Like, what is his problem?
Look, every once in a while, you're gonna find one that's just ready to go.
Just like
at
just
the
has
drop of a hat.
you want them at their lowest, but sometimes even we have standards.
Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna take your soul. Just
Like,
get out
hey,
my
man,
house.
Just leave.
Just stop.
Leave.
No.
You need Jesus.
Yes, please.
Tell him I sent you.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Shit.
even him, he's gonna be like, oof.
Oof. Just kind of praise, like oof, big oof. But I like this. I liked her as a villain in this movie. Before we kind of keep going, it's like I said, this movie feels dated.
Yeah.
But it was cool seeing this in more of a black setting. Not even gonna lie, it was dope seeing that and seeing like that in some of the shit that happens today with black men and black women, and it's just seeing that. And speaking as a black man myself, but it's just kind of seeing that, and it's like, yo, this is actually kind of accurate representation, except for what's about to happen.
Right.
So that's a perfect segue into when they're in the shower and they're having sex. And I was telling Jose, like there was a time she took her nails and was kind of like went up his back. I was like, yep, that right there, I'd have fucking died. Just
done
instantly. Just like, oh, just fucking dead. But anyway, not enough about things we need to know less about each other.
God damn it.
They're in the shower and the water's coming down, and it has been coming down since they've been in the shower, and just out of nowhere, the water turns into blood.
What's that Shag I hear? Slayer? Raining blood all the time?
Raining blood! Man, if that shit would have turned on.
Yeah.
Just like,
what the fuck?
Like, huh? That'd be my version. That'd be my version of fucking Death by Temptation. Like, what the fuck? Ah!
Yeah.
But it starts raining, and then and the bartender is like, he's kissing her, but he's like, what the fuck? He's kind of like kissing her, but like kind of pulling back because he's like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, because she's like sucking him, kind of. It looks like kissing. He's like, what the fuck? Like, it hurts, and which is funny. I forgot to mention he had a belt wrapped around his neck.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of kinky shit are you into? Like, we ain't kink shaming.
No, not at all.
But like, just to see that belt around his neck, brother would have been dead a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, but I think they took the belt off, and he just started seeing like the blood started. He pulls back and he starts seeing the blood rain on him. He's like, ah, and he fucking hauls ass out of the shower.
Yeah. And
this is where we get a full on dick shot.
Yep, big dong swinging.
Just swinging.
Yeah.
Just eyes closed, just swanging. Just like fucking, I'm like, yo!
Hey, look at this peen in the middle
like
of a
good
random
old
movie.
Like just swinging like a fucking flag in the air and bush, a lot of bush.
Oh, the 80s.
Yes.
/90s.
Buddy was running ass naked. And the whole time I'm sitting there going like, yo, okay, his ass out. I wonder if they're going to show. Oh, they showed it.
Yep.
Oh, buddy, did they ever?
Yeah.
It's just, he's like running and screaming, and she's chasing him. This would have probably been perfect for Raining Blood.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
Yeah, she chases him, pins him against the door, and you just hear screaming.
He's screaming, and then all you see is
the blood come from under the door.
Yep, seeing the blood. And just like, she's just going to work. And then that's how you know she's fucking.
Oh, she is a demon.
Yep. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But also, you can be like, I can see where people will say vampire.
Yeah, but the only thing is she's out in the day. She doesn't have the typical vampire rules.
It's like, none of the vampires is a demon. So it's not like demons can go out in the sunlight. They're just
not in Demon Slayer they can.
You're right. They can't.
Yeah.
But, well, they can. They'd just be like fucked but they have to be like hidden. But anyway, enough about that, you nerd.
Hey, man, I just gotta say it.
But then we're introduced. Some weird shit starts happening. It's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
And the dream sequences are kind of hard to explain because they're just out of nowhere.
They're like all fever dreams in this
yeah, like
movie,
they're fucking. Oh, we see like a black man fucking running towards something, and then like some eyes are kind of in the background, and Like, it's kind of fucking weird. It's literally what Jose just said. It's a fucking fever dream.
Yeah.
Like, I honest to God, can't really explain it, but it's a nightmare.
Right.
And then we're cut into a scene where Samuel L. Jackson, who is the father, who is a priest, not a priest. Fuck.
Minister.
He was a minister in this movie, and he's Joel's father.
Yeah.
Being a minister, and he's talking about temptation, and like the art of temptation and stuff like that in the Bible verses and everything else. So we cut to a scene. He's telling that, but we see a figure in black hovering over Joel.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like you don't know if that's temptation herself or like the mom. We don't know what the fuck's going on, and then you kind of get a flashback, and Samuel Jackson tells his son, he's like, look, I need you to go stay with your mom. Nah, I need you to stay with your grandmother. I need you to go stay with your grandma because I've been having some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, him and Samuel Jackson and the wife get into a car, and there's it's the lady in the street, like lady in black in the street, and she's like, oh, my God, you're going to... The wife was like, oh, my God, you're going to hit him. He's like, shut up. He's like, oh, my God, you're going to hit him.
He was trying to hit her, I guess, yeah.
He was trying to hit her, and they crash... And they're fucking dead. Now, that fucking scene.
It's kind of weird, and you could tell this was the budget kind of screws the movie. Because it's a decent wreck, but then all of a sudden you just see, like, bleh, it might as well have been someone just throwing paint.
Yeah. It's like
that's how bad that splatter was.
It's like someone just splashed a wine glass full of paint on fucking Sam Jackson, and she's going like, as he laying there going, bleh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it's like dead pose. Like, I've seen this man die better in Deep Blue Sea.
They ate me. A fucking shark ate me.
Drink, bitch.
But, and then that's when Joe wakes up from a dream, right?
Yeah, Joel wakes up.
Because it was like his dream or something. Because this was like, okay, so was this flashback or a dream?
This
both?
is both.
It's never really explained.
It's not explained, but it's kind of like gives us an idea of what happened because Joel went to go live with his grandmother right after his parents died in that car accident.
Right.
So, and she was explaining like, hey, you know, we know you're going to do great things because I know you've been training to be a minister yourself. And, you know, we're going to be there. And Joel's unsure of himself because I want to say it's a little bit of like the dreams fucking him up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I want to go I want to experience something else because I'm not 100% sure if I want to be a minister.
Right.
But that's when he calls, actually, we get that little scene. He doesn't call Kay yet. Kay comes up, and we're introduced to Kay earlier, and then he comes back, and then and that's how we're introduced. And then Joel's like, "Hey," he's like, "Yo, man, what's going on?" And he's like, "Yeah, I would like to come up to New York." You know, and Kay, it was weird because Kay's like a brotherly figure to him.
Yeah.
But they're not like real brothers.
Because it explained they went to like ministry school together. I guess, or something.
And Kay went to go be an actor.
Yeah, which is now I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, which explains again, it's getting Harrison.
Yeah.
Artisans just like, hey, but he's like, yeah, man, come on, I got room for you. Come on up here, bring your ass, like like normal friends would do.
Yeah.
And Kay is like, and we getting everything with Joel, but we fast forward back to the bar. And Temptation is still there, but we don't know her name is Temptation yet.
Yeah.
Which obviously Temptation's there, and she's getting another.
Well, yeah, because you see some guy walk in, and he immediately takes off his ring right there.
Yeah,
in front of everybody.
Yeah, in front of fucking everybody. Like, dude, he's just like a married man that's trying to like hide the fact that he's married and kind of walks in.
Yeah,
and this man is not a looker. No, absolutely not.
Immediately, Shag started roasting this guy's hairline. Like, hell no.
Holy shit.
Hell no. Shag was like,
bro, my shit may be receding. But my shit will never be as bad as this dude's. Holy fucking shit.
Shag's like, fuck this. But anyway, he walks up to Temptation, and he's like, well, hello there. My name's John.
Charles.
Did he say Charles?
He said Charles.
Okay, because she's like, oh, really? You don't look like a Charles.
Yeah.
You look like, I don't know, maybe a Norman.
And he fucking panics.
Yeah, because that's his real name,
that's
apparently.
That's his fucking real name. And he's like, what? And she's like, "Up," and then she's
like, "I'm just saying, why don't you buy me a drink?" He's like, "Oh, I'll buy you a drink. You like some champagne?"
You like champagne?
She's like, "Love champagne." They're like, "How about a bottle of Cristal?" And he's like, "What? What?"
Yeah, he's
like,
what? And the bartender's like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
So, do you have Cristal, or how about a 1974 Dom Perignon?
And the whole time he's in the background like, no. And the bartender like, no,
I can't afford that on
yeah,
my.
And he's like, no,
he's
we
like,
don't.
no. And she's like, he's like, we'll get her something. Like he's like trying to figure out what he's gonna get her. And damn, I can't remember because like I can't remember.
They ended up on some bottle.
Yeah, they ended up getting a bottle of something, and they have a couple of drinks.
She's like, why don't you come back to my place? Is that too
Or
forward
is that
with
too
you?
forward?
I'm being too forward with you. Like, oh no, that's fine. Yeah, let's take this.
Yeah.
You're like, keep the change, buddy. Actually, give me back my change.
Yeah, and it's like, and then give me back my change, and like, because this is when Kadeem Hardison's character comes in too.
I can't remember.
No, I can't remember. No.
not
Okay,
yet,
no,
not
not yet. But we are.
But we forgot to mention. You see,
Dougie. Dougie is.
Because he was in the previous
which is Bill
scene
Nunn.
earlier.
Yeah, Dougie is in the previous scene earlier with the bar, and
He's just a guy who strikes out every fucking time.
He's that one guy that goes to a bar and hits on every woman that he can, and fails
Every time.
miserably.
Yep.
Every fucking time. It's bad. Buddy's fucking game is Snorlax. That shit is sleep.
Oh shit,
bruh, it's just, but he's trying every time. But you kind of get a feeling for him every time. But anyway, Temptation. I'm trying to think. Did Temptation, was it that, or did Dougie do something else?
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Temptation takes Norman back to her place.
Yeah, and they get it on.
They get it on, and she is wrecking Norman's shit.
Yeah,
like and again, your boy would have been dead. Your
Yeah.
boy Shags here would have been.
She pulls out a knife and
Yeah.
starts cutting him a little bit.
Yeah, she pulls she finishes, and he's like, oh my god, I ain't never had nothing like that. Oh my god, and he's like fucking, and she's like, yeah, and she's like on top of him, and she brings out like a knife.
Yeah.
And she slides it, and he's like, what is that? And she's like, just let me work. And then she takes the knife and kind of drags it across his skin and kind of his nipple. And again, I wouldn't have made it. I'm going to just let you know that now. Did it, bye. But she continues to slide that, and then makes the cuts, like you say. And then, you might want to finish this because I'm kind of getting excited.
Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, after a while, I guess they finish. He starts getting cut, and then when he comes to, he looks in the mirror and he is just fucked up.
Yeah.
He has basically claw marks
all on his back.
On his back. He's cut up. He got like a big bruise. He's like, bitch, what did you do to me? How am I supposed to go back to mine? She's like, what, your wife?
Wife?
And he's like,
yeah.
He's like, oh my god, I just remember the commentary. she was like, oh no, I gave you something much worse, something that you can never get rid of. Shag was like, AIDS?
AIDS? Like, bitch got AIDS.
He's like, what do you mean? You don't look like the type of girl that got something.
And she starts laughing demonically.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you got something now.
You got something now.
It's just gonna. I bet she's just fucking with. She's like, it's gonna ruin you forever until you succumb to it or something like that.
Till it succumbs, till it takes you over.
Yeah.
It succumbs you. And she's like, so what are you going to do when your wife wants to fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, and he starts freaking out.
He just runs away. But before he leaves, he looks at himself one more time in the mirror, and his shit's like,
fucking.
It looks like he's turning into a living zombie or something.
Yeah, he's got like fucking leprosy going on or some shit. He's like, she's fucking cackling, like demonically cackling. And he's like running out of the house. Like, oh my god. And he's like fucking, he's like, oh god, please forgive me. And then just like runs out of the house.
This is the first time I ever did this. It's like,
and it's your last time too, bitch.
Yep.
That's what your ass gets.
Exactly.
This
is why we don't condone cheating here
at all.
The Cinema Villains podcast.
At all. This is what happens when you do. Your penis falls off.
Exactly. Literally.
or like something like that. But anyway,
so after this, this is when Joe comes to Norman's, or not Norman's. God damn it, we just talked about.
yeah,
Joe comes to Kay's house.
Joel arrives at Kay's house.
Yeah.
No, he did meet her because he told her so Kay meets Joel.
Okay, yeah, because they're at a bar.
Kay
now.
meets Temptation.
Yeah.
Kay, like, it's like another, and I remember this now, because now I remember, and I'm fucking up, and I'm kind of glad we are, because if y'all hadn't watched it yet, and you're just listening to this just gives you a better reason to go back and fucking watch it. But, Kay, meets up with, Kay happens to just walk into the bar, and, Kay is actually just talking, and then, like, that's when he, like, because he's over there by Dougie, and he sees old girl. He sees Temptation.
Yeah.
And he does one of those, like, who is that? And he kind of just, like, walks over to
But before that, it's like that one guy talks to her.
Yeah.
The one curious guy? We don't know.
So
earlier in the movie, he gets hit on by a gay dude,
and he's like, "Am I that?" All the men, and this is how I knew it was gay.
Yeah,
because he was like, and gay probably his more like you can be like we pegged him as bisexual.
Yeah,
ha ha wording. We pegged him as bisexual because in the earlier part of this movie, he's sitting at that bar just like Jose said, and he's getting hit on by another gay man. And he tells the dude, he's like, out of all the men in this bar, am I that predictable?
He's like, am I that obvious?
And yeah, there's kind of like some catty flirting right there. And he's like, look, I'm just here for a conversation. But if you want to buy me that drink, and the other motherfucker walks off, and to me, probably gives us the best line in the movie, which I cannot fucking remember.
It's like trying to get a $5 drink out of a $2 bitch or some shit like that. Yeah, something along those lines.
He's like, he's trying to get a $5 drink out of a $2 man.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah, he's like, bitch. He's like cheap bitch or something like that.
Cheap bitch. And it was just like, that shit was crazy. And because he asked for a fucking thing of Remy Martin.
Yeah.
And that's when he kind of sees Temptation earlier in the bar.
Yeah.
And it's kind of was like, yo, peg the confusion. And noticing the word placement that I'm using.
Yes.
But, anywho, fast forward, he walks up to Temptation, and Temptation, like, wants nothing to do with him.
She's like, are you sure you want to stand here right now?
You sure you want to stand here right now? Which is code for, you don't like me, so what are you doing
nothing I
here?
can do for you.
There's nothing here I can do. There's nothing here I can do for you, and there's nothing I can gain from you being around me. So why are you here?
Right. But then she does give him, like, I guess her address or something.
Yeah, that's because she spots Kay.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I got to get him.
Yeah, I want that.
So here's, just leave me alone if you want whatever.
Yeah. Like, look, here. If you decide you want it, I can do everything better than...
He's like, but you have to desire it.
Yeah. You have to desire
something
it.
Like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, she was like, trust me, whatever you want.
Yeah.
It can be desired. And, like, it's just like, no, it'll be some of the shit you ever had.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Yeah. And then before or while she's talking to Kay, I think this is like the first time we get, like, lines from Dougie. He's like, yo, that chick.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with her.
Yeah. Dougie's looking at us like, Dougie is kind of like, hey, man. Dougie's the smart one in this movie because every man goes up to her and, like, they're literally losing their lives. Dougie is in the bar fucking talking to any woman in this bar. And the crazy shit is, if he goes to her, he ain't got to worry about losing.
Yeah.
He can fucking win. Dougie's like, nah, man. Something ain't right about her, bro. Like, you remember, because he brings up, you remember the bartender that was in here beforehand? He's like, yeah, he was a friend of mine, and I ain't seen him since.
Yeah.
He went out with her because he could have came. Because what he said, because I was waiting for him to come back to tell me how the date went with her.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. She kind of got some weird eyes. She kind of scares me, man.
Yeah.
So like Dougie's like, that's how Dougie feels. But then and then once again they're talking to Kay, and Kay is Kay is getting mesmerized.
Yeah.
Seduced. Definitely seduced. And kind of pictures and has like a whole sex thing in his head. And that's when you realize that shit's not real. And he's like, I would love to continue this, but I got to go pick up my little homie from the bus station.
Yeah.
So we can kind of pick this up tomorrow. She's like, yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like she leaves. He's like, hey, I never got your and she's gone.
Yeah.
Like vanish. Ninja vanish.
Pretty much.
And then like
she Batmaned him.
She definitely Batmaned him. She was like she dipped. And then he's like, well, damn. And then he goes, and then obviously we get back to and Joel says something. You know, Joel's left a message for his grandmother, letting him know like, hey, I'm just going up here to kind of experience some stuff because I need a break from it all. And Joel gets up with Kay, and they kind of like they're in together, and then like Kay's helping Joel get dressed, like not looking like he's fucking like a
like an army recruit.
Yeah, like an army recruit. Like he said Barney. Like
he said Gomer Pyle.
Yeah, he looked like Gomer Pyle.
Gomer Pyle. There you go.
Like looking like some Gomer Pyle shit.
And then he starts talking like, "Hey, I met this girl last night."
Yep. She's
because it was like a weird like.
He starts because Kay starts fucking explaining.
It's like she seemed really nice, and then all of a sudden you see
it cuts
that one. Bi-curious, we don't know, guy walks up to her apartment or whatever. She's like, no, only when I invite you in or you make an appointment can you come here.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man, she's just real sweet. And she's like,
oh, fine.
Yeah.
Come in. And he walks in and the door just shuts behind him. He's like, what the fuck?
And
he's like, you got a problem?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And he's like, you sure you want this?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And she's like, all right, whatever. And that's when he's like, yeah, she's like, she's sexy, or like something like sexy or innocent. Like he's wordplay.
Like there's an innocence about her.
Yeah, and she's like, and
at that point she's like banging the dude.
Yeah, she's like reverse cowgirl on this dude.
Yeah.
And for those who know what that is,
shout out to you. But then she gets off because she's like
super frustrated.
Yeah, she don't touch me. And then Shag.
Whew.
So we don't see this.
No, but it's heavily implied.
Yes. So I'm just assuming she just grew a dick.
Yeah, something.
Because next thing you know, you just hear old boy say, "Hey, where'd you get that from?"
Yep.
And then it's implied he is getting it in the rear.
He is getting pegged.
Yeah, and he's enjoying it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
At first.
He's like, and she's like, and that's when he's kind of like, and that we go back to Kay and he's talking about her and what this scene is. This scene is like doing wordplay because as soon as he says it, she does the complete opposite. The camera cuts and she's doing the complete opposite of what she's saying, of what Kay's saying, and it's crazy because it's like shit. I gotta fix my headset. There we go. It's crazy because he's painting her in painting a pretty picture of her, but she's like using feces because that's exactly because it's like coming back. It's like no, that's not what that is, and she is going to work.
Yes,
on this dude. This is probably my other favorite fucking scene.
Yeah,
not this particular one, but what happens during.
Yeah, because then he's all like, "Hey, can you stop? Because it kind of hurts.
Can you stop? It kind of hurts. Can you?" And he's letting her know. He's like, "Hey, this ain't." He's like, "Hey, ow, yeah." And then like, he's like, and then he's like, "Yeah, I can't put something." And it comes back to Kay. He's like, "I can't put it back on it, but she's something."
Yeah.
And it comes back, or
and
something
all of a
else.
sudden, like. You just see like this big demonic hand just grab the dude.
Grabs that dude's shoulder and just kind of fucks him harder.
Yeah.
And it's just blood and it's just visceral.
And then we were Shag like, yo, did he just get pegged to death?
Dog, I swear I thought he got pegged.
But no, you can clearly see through the silhouette like she got back on top of him and just started
clawing him. And then like I don't even think she ate him.
No.
Like she just started clawing him, turned into a demon.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm seeing blood and like before they panned up, the way that shit was shot, it started from the bottom, and you're just hearing him scream, and you see like shadows, and I'm like, and you see blood just started fucking splashing, and I'm sitting here going like, is this man getting fucked to death? Because all you heard was like cheeks clapping, just clapping cheeks, and I'm like, and I'm looking at Jose, and I'm like, hey yo, if this man is literally getting fucked to death, I am going to give this my best fucking kill I have seen. But it wasn't to be.
Yeah.
It was her clawing the shit out of him. Like fucking it was almost like a werewolf.
Right.
She was definitely a demon, but it was a werewolf. Almost like cuz she used she used her fucking claws and just killed the motherfucker.
Right.
And it was bloody, and then like cuts back to Kay, and Kay's like, Joel's like, wow, and they're kind of like, he's smitten, and Joel's like, wow, man, that's cool. And then it comes back to her, and she's like trying to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
She's trying to calm the fuck down and whatnot. And like she turns back into a woman, and she's like, like just breathing hard. Like it was like, okay, I just killed. Like you've been killing motherfuckers for God knows how long, and this is the one that bothered you,
right?
Well, it didn't bother her. She was like, fuck. Now I gotta clean all this shit up.
I guess because she was like, yo, this didn't do nothing because I really didn't seduce him.
No. He didn't.
This isn't really what he wanted. I don't know. It was weird, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it was like, I just killed him because he was an inconvenience.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be here. I can't eat. None of this shit's gonna work right for me. So fuck it. He's gotta die.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. So Kay, fast forward a bit. Kay takes Joel to the fucking bar, and Joel disappears. And reappears because Kay runs into Dougie. They kind of talk a little bit, but then Joel comes up and says, Joel's like, "Hey, I met somebody," and he's like, "Oh yeah." And Kay's listening to him as he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I met somebody. He's like, yeah, she's kind of like she's like, yeah, she's smart. She's beautiful. She's all that. And then you see Temptation just walk.
Yeah.
And walk towards both of them. And I'm just sitting here, and the way she's approaching it is very fucking like demonic. Just the presence is just coming, and she just comes up and just like. And you think she's going to Kay. Because Kay turns around. She's like, hey. And Kay tries to go grab her. And she goes to Joel. And
she just straight up blows Kay off like, hey, do I know you?
Yeah, there's a lot of sexual innuendo puns that we're just throwing around here. Yeah. And like this may be our sexiest episode.
Hell yeah, sexy episode.
It's still February, so.
Hey there you go.
It's very sexy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she comes up against Joel, and she's like, hi, and looks at Kay. She's like, hi, I don't think we've met. And you're with Joel?
Yeah.
And
Kay's like, ha,
this is funny, whatever. And Joel's like, yeah. And I was like, Kay's like, bro, what? And Joel and Temptation walk off at the backside of the bar. Kay is like pissed.
Yeah.
Like jealous, but pissed. And he goes up with Dougie, and Dougie is telling her, like, hey, man, like, old boy down there, man, hey, like, I don't want to be a cock block, but something wrong with her, man.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't no punk. He's like, I'm 100% man, but she scares the shit out of me,
dog. That's the realest.
Like, what?
That's the realest fucking thing, and I heard in this whole movie.
Uh-huh.
And
he's like, yeah, man, I'm telling you, guys go out with her and they never come back.
And they never see
him again.
Never see him again, bruh. Which kind of gives us an idea. And Doug and Kay's looking at him like, man, you tripping. But Kay's also like jealous.
Yeah.
Fast forward again. Because a lot of the stuff that we're leaving out is like him talking. The grandmother is also having dreams.
Oh, yeah. Grandmother's having like nightmares of.
Yeah, of Joel. And
I guess being seduced.
Yeah, being seduced, and the dreams get stronger and stronger.
Yeah,
because she has one when he's on his way to New York, and she gets another when he gets to New York.
Yeah,
and then like she's like she's like, oh my God, please protect my baby.
Yeah, the whole time. That's basically all she's saying.
Please protect my baby. And then like every time Joel and Kay go back to the house, Kay is like, really, man?
Yeah.
Really? That's the same chick I was telling you about. And you just gonna pull us like, look, and Kay was being jealous.
Yeah.
That's all. It was jealousy, but like at the same time, it's kind of weird. It's like, yo, man, I think she's trying to play us, man.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's like, because he was sitting there talking to her. It's like, she act like she didn't even know me, and we were just in the bar talking. This is the same woman I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
Same woman I told you about. And he was like, okay, man, we're supposed to see her tomorrow. It's like, bro, what? And then like, she comes over the next day, and Joel and her having like a day date. And Joel's like, hey, I'm gonna grab. She comes over to Kay's place where Joel's staying, and Joel can say, hey, I'm gonna go grab something. I'll be right back. Joel goes in the other room. Kay calls her out. He's like, look, bitch, are you smoking some shit?
Yeah.
Or like, are you just playing? Are you playing some type of game? Like, what's good?
He's like, what are you talking about? She's just acting dumb still.
Yeah. So what are you talking about? He's like, no, motherfucker, I know you know me.
Yeah.
She's like, what? He's like, I know you know me. You just playing us. You trying to play? He's like trying to play me and my. He's like trying to play me and my boy. What are you doing? He's like, are you on that dope or some shit like that? She's like, whatever do you mean, Kay? And she's like, and he's like, he looks at her, but then happens to glance at his mirror.
Like, he turns around, he's like, I know this bitch ain't.
He's like, I know this bitch ain't. It's like, oh my God.
But then that's when he turns around, looks in the mirror, and realizes she doesn't have a reflection.
Yeah, he looks at the mirror, looks at her, looks at the mirror, looks at her, looks back in the mirror, and she's starting to realize that he doesn't. She's like, what's your problem, Kay? And kind of rolls up on him, and Joel comes out.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, is everything all right? She's like, yeah, we're good. Are you ready to go? And they kind of leave. And Kay is like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, no. I know what I just seen.
Yeah.
I know what I just seen.
So he's tripping. He goes to Dougie. Mm. He's like, hey, man, look. That girl you talking about that scares the shit out of you? The crazy eyes.
Yeah. He's the crazy eyes, yeah.
He's like, dog, she was at my apartment. I confronted her. She didn't have a fucking reflection.
At all. Yeah, and Dougie was like, man, are you fucking on that dope? Are you fucking on that?
Like, you on that pipe?
You on that pipe, bro? And he's like, man, you don't fucking believe me? Like, why would I tell you this if you didn't? And they fucking freak out. Dougie fucking kind of says, hey, man, don't worry about it. I believe you. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. I believe you.
I got something to show you. Come to fucking find out, Dougie works for the government or something.
Government. Like, I'm going to say fucking FBI, CIA.
The X-Files.
X-Files type of shit.
Yeah.
And Dougie's not Dougie is not like another woman, another down out of his luck womanizer. He is actually, I'm here for a fucking reason.
He's like, yeah, that is his cover, I guess.
That's his fucking cover. And he's like, hey, I've been following. He's like, so, and Dougie goes in a whole spiel of explaining. There's a lot of shit that there's a lot of murders that are happening that are based around the paranormal.
Yeah,
and
he's like, and the government knows about it, and I'm here to confirm or deny shit. Yeah,
I'm here to confirm or deny shit. And he says, now I believe you. But we have to work together because, like, where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
Like, I've been so close to this case. You were the one fucking lead I've had.
Yeah, and he's like, look, we can't wait for my supervisor. What do they call it? Not supervisors.
Yeah,
but,
we can't wait for my department to come down and do
superiors.
That. My superiors to come down and do this because we ain't going to have the time.
Yeah, it'll be too late by then.
It'll be too late. So we need to do this now.
And I believe you, but do you think anyone else going to believe you?
Yeah. They're saying they couldn't. He's like, yeah, so we need to do this. So they kind of devise a plan. Meanwhile, Joel and Temptation are at the fucking thing, and Temptation is trying to seduce Joel.
Yeah.
And Joel is a church boy. He's from like a small
that's
time,
his whole thing. Yeah,
because he's super innocent.
Yeah, he's practicing to be a minister.
Yep.
Like his father. So yeah, he is true innocence. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like pure innocence, and he's the last of his bloodline.
Yeah.
So apparently that makes the succubus gushy, all like excited.
Yeah.
So she can't wait.
It's never really explained what would happen if she would have corrupted
But I
him.
want to say that that he would have been like, when I think succubus have to like seduce their people, and they're kind of like get them in like almost like how Pennywise is.
Yeah.
Like get you to the point of like this to where your flesh will taste amazing.
I guess, yeah.
And the purer you are, the better you'll be.
Right.
And that's where she's like, yo, not only this motherfucker the last in his bloodline, but he's like a goody-goody? Please. It's like fucking Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
Like real expensive shit. But like fucking we get another scene where Kay and Dougie are heading to a medium.
Yeah.
And they bring it up, and this is through Dougie because Dougie knows her, and that's who Dougie messes with.
Exactly.
Dougie tells her like, "Hey, remember the chick I was following? I got confirmation," and she starts explaining what she actually is.
Yeah, what a succubus is.
Yeah, what a succubus is. She's like, "Hey,
she needs that pure soul."
Yep, there are temptresses who seduce men, and
basically explains she's an ancient demon.
Yeah, she's an ancient demon, and all they do is they seduce men. But she emulates the type of shit that those men are.
Yeah.
So the seduction can work. So in this case, with the bartender she killed first, he is like, she was like, hey, cut to the straight to the point.
Yeah.
The one who was cheating on his wife, she's like, hey, I keep a secret.
Yeah.
And the other one would be, and the last one was like, that wasn't even it, because and you can kind of see when she seduced the other two, this one he was like, he doesn't even know if he fucking wants it. So
yeah, that's
why she didn't eat him or do anything to him. She was just like, fuck, man, I can't do anything with this.
Yeah.
And she and the medium is explaining everything, and she's like, the name of that demon is Temptation. And as soon as the name says it,
yeah, she just pops up. Like, she literally like is summoned. She wakes up from her bed, and she's like, motherfuckers.
Yeah. She's like,
and then she just possesses the medium.
Yeah. She possesses the medium and scares her shit.
Yeah, she's talking shit like, you dare challenge the beast?
The beast? And they fucking like, and Kay is like, hey, nah, bro.
Hey, I'm dipping, dog. Fuck
like, I don't know about you. It's like, yo, my name was Paul, and that's between y'all. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Dougie's like, hey, man, yeah.
We better go.
We better.
Because they were asking, like, is there any way you can stop her? Like, can we cut out her heart?
Yeah, cut out her heart, bury it in the hollow ground, and they're like,
I think Kay was like, God damn, that's pretty intense.
That's some shit, boy. I ain't trying to do all that.
And she's like, nah, man, what happened? The dude got to, like, not give in.
Yeah, he has to not give in. He has to
reject her.
Resist temptation.
Yeah, basically.
That's pretty much what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, Temptation has been luring Joel from North Carolina.
Yeah.
To come to New York,
mm-hmm.
so she can have him, because that's the dream sequences and stuff. She's been doing that to him.
Yeah.
So, we get that, and like so Temptation knows that she's being hard after, and like she's like, I gotta eat Joel. I gotta hurry up.
Yeah.
And devise a plan, and back at the bar, it's. The new bartender is out taking out the trash.
Yeah.
But before I get ahead of myself, Kay, that morning, Kay makes a fucking call to Joel's grandmother.
Yes.
And grandmama ain't playing no shit about her baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, man. That reminded me of my mama a little bit. She's like, ain't nobody mess with my baby.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because the whole time she been like, oh, God, take care of my baby.
Yep. And as soon as she get that call, say, who messing with my what? Boy, she coming out there with the shooters.
Yeah.
She's coming out there with the shooters. She's in that first thing smoking.
Yes.
Meanwhile, at night, Joel is getting prepared for his date with Temptation, but Kay and Dougie are going to the bar to deal with Temptation herself.
Yeah.
And what I've always liked about Temptation as a villain in this movie was she kept it cool. The only time she didn't keep her cool was obviously when she was getting made.
Yeah.
And the interaction with the bi-curious cat.
Yeah.
Like, that is when she was like, fuck. She never lost her fucking cool up until a point. Right? But even in this point, she was like, and so Dougie and fucking Kay go back to the bar, but they're on the outside of the bar where they see the new bartender taking out the trash, and he's like, and Kay just sneaks up on him, fucking puts that motherfucker
like a chokehold.
Put that motherfucker in a chokehold. He's like, and Dougie's like, bro, what are you doing? And then he's like, hey man, we need you. It's like, is she in there? She's like, yeah, she's the only one in there. I was like, okay, what we need you to do. Take this vial of newly blessed holy water.
Freshly blessed or whatever.
Freshly blessed holy water and put that in her drink. And then get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he fucking walks in, makes her a drink, nervously puts the fucking holy water in the fucking drink.
Yeah.
Passes it on. Passes it on to her. And she's like, she's feeling weird about it. She's like, thank you. Not even thinking about it, she takes it and she chugs it.
Yeah.
And of course it's holy water, so she starts fucking, and I like fucking Dougie's like, all right, man, when we get in there, she's gonna be farting and gagging and puking everywhere, dog. You ready for that? Kay's like, no,
not really, but we gotta do this.
We gotta do this, man. And you see her fucking like doing all that, but not like none of the farting and the fucking like throwing up and shit. She's like fucking like almost hamming it up.
Yeah,
hamming up in that fucking camera.
Yeah, because it's like she's like right there in front of the camera and shit. Mm-hmm. We were just like,
like, what are you doing? Like, we don't need to do all this. I get it. She's doing kind of convulsions and she's like back to the going fucking crazy. And Dougie and Kay get into the bar and they see her. They're like, and like, all right, man, we gotta fucking do this. And he fucking Dougie tells Kay to grab her while she's on the ground. And Dougie gets on top of her, and like while Kay's holding her down, he takes the knife, like this nice ass knife too, and looks at her. Is like, "Yo, we are going to put you to rest." And he goes to he raises his arm up to go to stab her. Just as he's about to bring it down, he fucking stops. But it's only because Temptation is using her demonic powers to stop him.
Yeah,
and he's like, Kay's like, come on, man, you gotta fucking do it. And Dougie's like, I can't move. And she's like looking at him, like laughing demonically and shit. And then like Kay grabs and then she tries, and then he turns the knife.
Yeah, because he almost makes him stab himself.
Yeah, like Temptation's about to make him stab Dougie, make Dougie stab himself. And Kay's like, yo, trying to get the fucking knife out of his hand. And he fucking takes the knife and they throw it. And then Temptation just rises up like the fucking Undertaker, which to me, I'd have fucking socked the shit out of her. Like, just be like, she rises up like, hi, bap, just hit that bitch right back to the ground.
One good time.
Just like one good time. Just like, bap, ow, fuck. Just like, bam.
Yeah.
Just hit her, bitch. But she gets up. She gets up and she starts doing like possession type of shit. It's like, you dare, you fools!
Like shit like the beast once again. Like she's like the beast.
He's like, you challenge the beast, and they fucking run out of there.
They dip. They just
fucking dip. They're like, yo, fuck it, we gotta go. And they run outside and she's like, you fools.
Yeah.
Like, you want a war with the beast? You got one.
Yeah.
And Kay's like, they're trying to like, Kay's like, where's the fuck my car? And he's like, because they drove his car there. And he's like, hey, he's like, man, don't worry about the car. Like, how you mean don't worry about the car? Which is also hilarious considering Drive.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, what do you mean? But he sits there and they both go their separate ways because they can't agree on.
He's like, let's go this way. Like,
let's
go that way.
Go
this way.
He's like, you know what? I see you when I see you.
Yeah. Like,
they just shook hands and they dipped both separate ways.
Dougie runs into the bartender.
Yeah,
driving away
and gets into his car.
Hey, let me in. He's like, come on, we gotta go.
We gotta go. And then you look at the fucking bartender, and that motherfucker is, I'm gonna say it, he's a goddamn demon, but I'm gonna say a lower class demon.
Right.
And a fucking black hooded veil fucking skeleton ape type shit.
Yeah, some
weird ass demon looks at Dougie and fucking
starts smiling and just
yeah,
like zooms in, like attacks him.
attacks. He's like, no,
and that's the last we see of Dougie.
And then like Kay makes it back to his apartment looking for Joel, but Joel's with Temptation.
Yeah,
and Kay starts hearing some weird shit in his house, so he grabs a butcher knife and walks back to his living room. He sees the TV. TV's on. It's him on the TV screen.
Yeah.
And he's thinking it's a recording, but the TV screen is telling him, hey, man, come here.
Yeah, come closer.
And the fucking TV eats him.
Yeah, it just basically eats him, sucks him in.
Yep.
All of a sudden, he just spits out blood and guts on everything.
Blood, guts, viscera all over the fucking place. And you see, like, demonic K fucking smacking his lips.
Yeah, and then burping. But then you get this really cool, like, it was like that Freddy Krueger effect.
Yeah.
Like when Freddy was
like
on the wall.
Like part 3 where you fucking, or no, part 1.
Yeah.
And he fucking sticks his head out and he kind of looks and he kind of goes back. It's like, that's supposed to be symbolic of like K's spirit.
Yeah.
Stuck in that little plane and he's like screaming for help.
Yeah.
So that was, and unfortunately that's the last we see of K.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Joel is with Temptation and Temptation is trying to get him to drink. And Joel's like, hey, man.
Like, nah, I don't drink.
I don't drink. And so she takes her fingernail and dips it into her drink and gets Joel to fucking taste it. And he blacks the fuck out.
Well, no, she drinks them.
Oh, yeah.
And then she like shotguns him. Like she pretty much spits it in his mouth.
She spits it in his mouth and he fucking blacks out. Yeah. She shotguns it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man.
And then he starts dreaming about his dad.
He starts dreaming about
you sinner. You fornicator.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to see is Samuel Jackson over my shit calling me a fornicator and a sinner. I'm dead.
Yeah.
He's like, you're supposed to be dead. You're not here. You're not real.
He's like, you're dead. Yeah.
And he fucking, Sam Jackson's like, well, I'm going to do to you what I should have done a long time ago. And he fucking starts choking him.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you doing this? Because I'm you.
Exactly.
Didn't you see my movies?
God damn it.
I couldn't help it.
Exactly.
I couldn't help it. And then he fucking.
But then Grandma comes to the rescue.
Yeah, Grandma comes to the rescue and sees that it's Temptation choking him.
Yeah.
And it's demonic Temptation.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Grandma about to hit her with a fucking shoe, or if it was my grandmother on my dad's side, have a fucking switch.
There you go. Yeah.
Beat that motherfucker ass. I would have fucking started cackling. I don't know, this is the best movie ever. I don't know why that never happened. And then, but she gets up and she starts choking Grandma. And Grandma starts
she like force pushes her to the
she force fucking pushes her. And then like
runs up to her and starts like just choking her out.
Well, even before that, like she grabs fucking Joel and like, Joel's like, why are you doing this to me? And she breaks Joel's fucking wrist hand.
Yeah.
And like they're having meat exposed, showing, and she flings that motherfucker like a booger.
Yeah, just like boing.
towards the wall, and that's when she goes fights Grandma, and Grandma's like bleeding from the neck.
Yeah,
and she's like, and Grandma's telling him, hey, you gotta fight it, believe in God, and yada yada.
Yeah,
and
like,
I'm gonna forgive. Like y'all need, and please forgive me because it's a lot of the Lord shit, and I'm not really, that ain't my bag, and I don't want to mess any of that up.
Yeah, he just starts remembering Samuel Jackson's sermon, like temptation.
Yep.
It's defeated by the word of the Lord or some shit like that.
By the word of the Lord and whatnot, and
he picks up a cross and essentially he's like be gone demon.
Yep. And she fucking, and he takes the fucking shit and he says, I banish you back to hell once you came, and the demon explodes.
Pretty much.
Temptation just explodes.
She just falls to the ground and blows up.
Yeah, and then like falls to the ground, and and you see graphically they're trying something different.
Yeah,
they're trying
to hide their
trying to hide the low budget, the low budget and everything, which I noticed we did not play.
Oh, Bop
Flop, but there was no box office. There's a box office number, but of course, it's the box office number globally when it finished was $2 billion.
Damn.
And I can tell you how much that movie cost to make.
So I saw a number. I don't know if it was true. Mm-hmm. I saw 54,000.
I think that's what the movie made. me.
just statewide. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
state-wise. Because I saw that 50.
So 50. This movie didn't even make $100K.
No.
Holy shit.
No. When it was
So
all
this was
said
a floppity flop.
Yeah, when it all said and done, this movie did
make $2 million
about
worldwide.
$2 million. But other than that,
Holy shit.
yeah, like I couldn't do bop or flop if I don't have a box up. If I don't have a how much it costs to make,
Right.
and versus how the box office, then we can't really tell. But I can already tell that this would have been a critical flop since this was his only movie until like 2012.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
she melts and blows up essentially.
Yep. And Joel saves his grandma. She's still alive. They hug, and he goes back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And New York, and he's telling
come on, to raise up.
He
takes his shirt off.
I hope not.
Twist it around his head like a
helicopter. Probably in prayer.
There you go.
In prayer.
He
goes off and says a little thing like in the background, but we see somebody else pull up to the bar and walk in like fancy and stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't show us the face. The character pulls out a cigarette and
some lady lights it up for him.
Yeah, a lady lights it up for him like, "Hey, need a light?" And she takes the fucking light, like a match, and pulls it over to the cigarette. And the camera pulls back, and it's Dougie.
Yeah.
Who says the same thing that the succubus said and says, "Hey, you should get a cigarette lighter. It lasts longer."
And he kind of just looks at the camera, and that's where
he's looking at the camera, and it was like,
so I'm like, is that just a new demon?
Yeah, he's a new demon.
Okay.
He's a new demon. He's a new demon. He was possessed. What I started to think is that particular bar is low-key a demonic bar.
Okay.
That's what I'm starting to think, like a curse, like it's a haunted bar, or something like that. To where, because
there's always going to be some type of demon or entity there,
like some kind of demon or entity there, and like because if you think about it, even the second bartender was a demon, helped her out. Yeah, like so that's kind of one of those things that I seen. But anyway, that was Death by Temptation.
Death by Temptation.
Did you have any other trivia that you wanted to put up?
No, there's none. Just the whole Kadeem Hardison, Samuel L. Jackson, and Dougie, what's his name? Kevin Nunn or
Kevin Dunn.
No, I said Kevin Nunn or what?
Give me a second.
Not Kevin Dunn. What an evil person.
Dog,
no.
I was like, damn, dog, you said it.
No, I did not.
You did.
I hate you.
Bill Nunn.
Bill Nunn is not science guy.
No, stop it.
But that they were in Do the Right Thing together, and they come from Spike Lee and Bill Nunn and Samuel L. Jackson went to college together.
I believe.
Well, to the same college at least.
Yeah, and then James Bond did work on, I believe, Do the Right Thing, but not like he was like an apprentice. Yeah. So anyway, that was it. Death by Temptation.
It's a solid movie. It's a high recommend for me.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, yeah, for its flaws, I really fucking like it.
Just get past the low budgetedness of it. Yeah, and if you're one of those people who like, no, I'm not watching a trauma movie. This isn't so much of that. It's a trauma movie. Trauma just distributed it.
Yeah, it just distributed it.
Yeah, so don't think because I know trauma is that's some rough shit for a lot of people.
Yeah,
because boy, they don't give a fuck.
No.
But yeah, it's nothing like that. It's just trauma distributed the movie.
Yeah, it comes out and say trauma in first, and then motherfuckers like, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah, because I'll be like, Sean, but no, don't worry. They had nothing to do with the movie. They just released it.
Nah, they just gave my man a chance to just release his movie. But Jose, what was your favorite cinema villain moment?
I'm gonna go ahead and say old dude getting pegged to death.
He's getting butt fucked to death?
Just butt fucked to death. Because it's like, what the fuck? It's like, I told Shaq, like, look, I seen Bible Black. I seen hentai. I know where this goes.
I know where
all
this
of a sudden
goes.
they just switch. Hey, I had this. Now I have this.
Exactly. Be like,
and it's
you're just hearing like cheeks being clapped. And I'm just like.
Because it's just such a weird fucking scene. Because at first he's like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, yeah.
He's like, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, yeah. And it's like, yeah, the motherfucker, you taking that shit.
Yeah, and then, no.
And like I said, I high-key would have put that number one with a bullet if that was literally how he fucking died. which I forgot to mention. There's a scene in the movie where Joel's dreaming, or Grandma's dreaming.
It's Grandma's dream, yeah.
And it's all the men that have been claimed by the succubus, at least from the bar. Mm-hmm. And you see the first bartender. You see the married man who apparently was shot by his fucking wife.
Yeah, he's like, my wife shot me. Ha ha ha.
He's like, no, she did not.
Like, yeah, someone said no, she did not.
No, she didn't.
I never understood it. I don't get it. But
I'm like, no, because you look at it. It's
he has a big hole in his eye.
It's kind of like one of them saying, no, she did not. Like, like I'm kind of like that because you see a big ass that motherfucker got shot in his head.
Yeah,
and then and it's New York, so I definitely believe it.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you got a gun, but like, yeah,
it was the 80s.
Yeah, even then, it's New York.
That is true.
But anyway, but then you see our bicurious guy.
Yeah.
Fucking you see our bicurious guy just start like fucking like drooling from the mouth, and I'm like, the first thing I thought, Jose, I was like, dog, did he just did temptation like finish in his butt and he just let it flow out of his mouth?
Man,
I'm sorry. I have a vivid imagination, and that's kind of where I went with it. I apologize to anyone that's listening to this.
Right.
But that is exactly what I fucking thought. I'm like,
that shit was wild.
That shit was big wild. But no, my favorite scene is obviously the blood shower.
There you go.
Like, only because the movie, if you don't know what the movie is.
Now you know. It's one of those things.
It's one of those movies.
This is what you're in for.
This is what you're fucking in for. And then, like, because you don't pick up the context clues, that is what you're fucking in for.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the blood fucking hits, it's a wrap. I was like, oh. It's that type of fucking movie. But that's my favorite cinema moment. But other than that, I definitely say this is a much watch. Obviously, before we go, though, we got to do a little thing.
It's time, baby.
It is. We here at Cinema Villains not only watch our movies that we grew up loving, but we also review the villains in said movie by 3 categories. Those categories are the motive, the drip, and the threat level. Jose,
what up?
For the demonic succubus temptation.
All I desire, temptation.
What are you giving her? That's a pretty
dope Cradle of Filth song. There you go. Don't say I don't listen to anything.
My God, you're a sleepy boy.
I am. Let's go.
You're a sleepy boy.
Better than being an island boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's absolutely true. But what are you giving her in motive?
I'll give her a solid 4, I guess. I mean,
yeah, I was kind of
like, well, because she's doing what succubuses do. I mean,
she definitely is. And this was kind of like the first succubus is like she was like, what the fuck do you want? Like to him, like,
I just wish they, you know what, 3.5.
3.5?
Because it's like, you're doing what you're doing. You're seducing men and, taking their souls, I guess. Devouring their souls.
Delicious.
But, like, I needed your end game to be more clear.
Yeah,
like what did you get out of?
Maybe we missed something.
Yeah, destroying this kid's life.
Yeah, maybe we missed something. Like, why is he so important?
Exactly.
Is it because he's like, if it's because it's tuned with God?
Because all they said, he was like, oh yeah, he's a holy man.
He's the last of his bloodline. Yeah. And I'm like, unless that's like your fucking Mario Golden Star.
Yeah.
Then like that, and it was like it's the Holy Grail. No pun intended.
Right.
Like we didn't know. So I give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.5. The drip. What's a drip?
Drip's a 5.
Yeah, it really is.
She's change your JJ to a peen. Automatic 5. Girl of my dreams.
Oh
no! I'm fucking. Stop! I need to quit. I'm just joking. That is all joke.
And the show's over.
But no, honestly, she's So she had 80s drip. So we gotta immediately.
Yeah. She automatically gets a 3.
So yeah. So
sure, I'm trying to remember. Her outfits changed. She was on point.
I would say 4. I'd say solid 4.
4?
Yeah.
I can see giving her a 5.
Can you? Okay, because
I can definitely see giving. Because think about it, we don't have a lot of women. We don't have a lot of we don't have a lot of we don't have a lot of female villains, right? That we do for this. And 9 times 10, we definitely don't have enough. It's probably gonna be a while before we have another black female villain,
Right.
in that sense. I'm not giving her a 5 because of that. I'm giving her a 5 because of like just being able to pull that off and being believable that she can it's like she can seduce you.
Yeah.
Like she had a different outfit every time.
Yeah.
Red dress, black dress, skimpy little doodads, lingerie, no lingerie, all that. They made sure she had. I know wherever that budget went, and it was in her clothing.
Right.
So yes.
No, her drip's a 5 because again, succubus. She has to seduce you, so she has to look good doing it.
She has to look good. That's where she was wearing fucking Chanel and dog. No, her shit was her shit. Yeah, that's why I give her a 5.
Yeah, absolutely. She's 5 again.
Yeah, because like I automatically she was gonna get 3 because of the 80s drip.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's effort in her. There's effort put in her wardrobe.
Right.
Like for every one guy who had a suit or a recyclable suit, she had a fucking wardrobe.
Right.
So she fucking slayed, figuratively and literally.
Yeah. Right.
And the threat level.
Oh, it's a 5.
Yeah, definitely a 5.
A 5. There's not jack shit you can do with this against this demon.
No.
Like if she wanted you dead, you were fucked.
Yeah.
I guess unless you
literally said no.
Yeah.
Unless you literally. This is what this is. This is like the fucking consent. Just like, hey, let's fuck. No.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Are you positive?
Yeah.
Flash,
I'm sure.
Flash a titty, and it's like, no, I'm fucking sure. I just seduced a gay man, and you want no part of me?
Yeah.
No, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
No, I don't think I will.
I really just wanted to drink tonight. I'm good.
I'm all right. I don't think I will. Just
no, ma'am. I don't think I will.
yeah, exactly. And she's like, no,
just pop.
I'm melting.
Right?
I'm melting.
Well, that was kind of. Wouldn't that not be high threat level then?
Well, no, because think about it. If she's doing her job, she has a fucking kill rate.
Yeah, no, her body count.
Her body count was damn near undefeated.
Then she's like invulnerable. She's a monster. She can put you in a genjutsu. That's illusion for all my non-anime watchers.
Dude, no, like,
but
she's got to be a 5 because think about it. Yeah. Because you like, even though Joel got away, you have to be Ned Flanders.
Exactly.
To fucking
Flanders would body this demon easily, but that's about it.
That's it. You had to be on the power. You have to literally be the power. If you're a regular man, you were not making it.
No.
You were done.
Yeah, and Joe was like a minister in training, so
he was like, this motherfucker's like, hey, no. He's like, hey, yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then like, but he had to witness some shit happening because she almost got his ass.
Right.
But in this sense,
Grandma kind of had to come for the
Grandma had to fucking come in and say, not my baby.
Yeah.
But no, dog. I'm telling you, she like I definitely giving her a 5.
Yeah.
Like she gets a 5 only because she had a high fucking success rate.
Right.
A really high success rate, which again would have probably stayed. She would have been undefeated.
Yeah.
Had Joel would have been like had Grandma not played interference.
Right.
So
probably you're right.
So damn 5, and 4.5. She damn almost.
I said 3.5.
You said 3.5. Did you not bump it up to?
For the motive?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was like
3.5.
Yeah.
I gave her a 4. You gave her a 3.5.
Yeah.
All right, word. So 3.5.
But 2 5s.
2 5s and then a 4. She's automatically in.
Yeah, she's in the villain dome.
Yep.
But is she a VIP, Shaq?
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
I'm putting her in VIP, man. Not because, like, first off, we don't have any other women in there.
Right.
It's literally a sausage fest.
I was just about to say that. It is sausage
literally
fest
a sausage fest. But that aside, I really liked her as a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, with a stronger budget.
Stronger budget and stronger script.
The script could have been tightened up in some places.
Because, like I said, give me an end game.
Yeah, give me something like that motherfucker. Like, yo, if I get that motherfucker,
I unleash hell or something.
Yeah, like the hell on earth. Like, I cannot be stopped. That shit.
The consent rule goes out the window. Yep. I can do whatever.
I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? You know, that type of shit. Like if the script was if the script was tighter and the budget was a lot more, she would have been on all time. She's still, to me, she's a really good villain in a movie like this that is like a cult classic,
right?
And a hidden gem to us.
Exactly.
She's a really good villain, and she didn't do too much. She didn't have to.
No, not at all.
She did her fucking job.
Exactly.
And that was enough for me. She acted right. Now, granted, yes, there was some hammy shit, but again,
right. Again, that's the direction.
Is the direction and the telling of the times.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But this particular one, this was a really good villain. I definitely fuck with that. I fuck with it heavy.
Yep, I believe it. I agree 100%.
Yes, sir. Well, my friend, do you have anything else you want to share with the audience, or are you good?
I think I am good tonight, sir.
I am not drunk enough yet.
That is true. That too.
But I am working on that. For Jose, good people.
Yeah.
I am Shaggy Black. You guys, we will see y'all next time.
Next time, remember, if you're in a bar and it's almost too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah, don't be like me, folks.
Don't be like Shag. Survive a succubus.
Yeah,
unless that succubus is Morgan. Unless she has green hair.
Pause.
And
I'm kidding. What am I pausing?
I was like, what are you pausing? I had to look at you like, wait, what?
This is for the fucking earlier shit. It's like woman of my dreams.
The woman of my dreams.
I'm like,
what do you think I created in Cyberpunk?
I fucking knew it.
I was like, give me a woman with the biggest breasts and the biggest schlong.
For Jose and Shaggy,
That's what's getting clipped.
That right there.
But
that right there. We just found our fucking audio clip.
Yep.
I want to say we will see y'all next time.
Yep.
Good people.
We love you. Take care of yourselves.
Bye.